I was broke, exhausted, and one missed paycheck away from sleeping in my car. That's not an exaggeration. At 22 years old, I was living in a tiny apartment on the south side of Chicago with peeling paint on the walls, a broken heater, and exactly $3.17 left in my bank account. Every morning, I'd wake up to the sound of traffic outside my window and the same terrifying thought in my head. How am I supposed to survive like this? I worked at a grocery store stocking shelves overnight. The pay was terrible, the hours were worse, and after rent, food, and bills, there was nothing left. No savings, no opportunities, no future. At least, that's what I believed back then. One freezing Friday night, I checked my phone during break and saw an email from my landlord. "Rent is overdue. Final warning." My stomach dropped. I remember sitting in the break room, staring at the message while everyone else laughed and talked around me. I felt invisible, like the world was moving forward without me. That night changed everything. After my shift ended at 5 a.m., I didn't go home. I walked into a 24-hour coffee shop nearby and ordered the cheapest coffee on the menu just so I could sit there for a while. That's where I noticed him. A guy in his late 20s wearing a hoodie, AirPods, and working on a laptop covered in stickers. He looked relaxed, focused, different. For almost 2 hours, he barely moved except to type. Eventually, curiosity got the best of me. I walked over and said, "Hey man, what do you do for work?" He looked up and smiled. "I run online stores." Online stores. I had heard about people making money online before, but honestly, I thought most of it was fake. Scams, clickbait, rich people pretending to help broke people. But this guy didn't seem fake. We talked for almost 30 minutes. Before leaving, he wrote something on a napkin. "Learn this," he said. The word on the napkin was simple: copywriting. I had no idea what it meant. When I got home, instead of sleeping, I searched it on YouTube. Writing words that sell products. That was it. No degree required, no expensive office, no connections. Just writing. Something inside me lit up. For the next few weeks, my entire life became work and learning. I'd stock shelves all night, come home exhausted, and spend hours watching videos about marketing, sales psychology, email writing, and advertising. Most people would have quit. I almost did too. There were nights I fell asleep at my desk, nights I questioned whether I was wasting my time, nights I hated seeing successful people online because it reminded me how broke I was. But I kept going. One day, I found a small business on Instagram selling fitness products. Their website looked terrible. Their emails were boring. So I sent them a message. I said, "Hey, I think I can help improve your sales for free." No response. I messaged another business. Nothing. Then another. And another. 32 businesses ignored me. 33 rejected me. But the 34th replied. A small supplement company based in Austin agreed to let me write one promotional email. Just one. I spent 6 straight hours writing that email. Every word felt important. I rewrote the headline at least 20 times. When I finally sent it, I felt sick with anxiety. 2 days later, the owner called me. "I don't know what you did, but that email made us over $2,000. I froze. $2,000? From one email? Then he asked the question that changed my life. "How much would you charge to write more?" I had no idea what to say. So I lied. $500 per project. My heart pounded after I said it because $500 sounded insane to me at the time. He didn't even hesitate. Deal. I stared at my phone in complete shock. That one project made more money than an entire week at the grocery store. For the first time in years, I felt hope. Real hope. I became obsessed. Every day after work, I practiced writing advertisements. I studied successful brands. I learned why people buy things emotionally before justifying them logically. Within 2 months, I had 4 clients, then 6, then 10. I quit the grocery store after making my first $5,000 month. I still remember walking out of that building for the last time. The cold air hit my face, and instead of fear, I felt freedom. But the craziest part hadn't happened yet. One of my clients introduced me to a guy running an e-commerce brand in Los Angeles. He sold luxury watches online and needed help with ads. He offered me a percentage of the profits instead of a flat payment. At first, I almost said no because percentages sounded risky, but something told me to take the chance. So I did. For 2 weeks, I worked harder than I ever had in my life. I rewrote the website, redesigned product descriptions, created email campaigns, and tested different ad angles. Then, the ads launched. Nothing happened the first day, or the second. By day 4, sales exploded. The brand went viral on social media almost overnight. Orders poured in nonstop. The owner called me screaming with excitement. "We just crossed $50,000 in sales." I checked the dashboard myself because I couldn't believe it. It was real. My percentage from that launch alone came out to over $10,000. $10,000. Just months earlier, I was counting coins to buy ramen noodles. Now I had more money in my account than I'd ever seen in my entire life. I sat silently in my apartment, staring at the numbers on my banking app. Then I cried. Not because of the money, because for the first time I realized my life had changed. Completely. The next morning, I paid all my overdue bills. I paid off my credit card debt. I bought groceries without checking prices. I even sent money to my mom. That feeling was better than buying anything for myself. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Making the first $10,000 wasn't the hardest part. Believing I could do it was. Most people stay broke because they think opportunity belongs to someone else. They think successful people are special, lucky, or connected. Some are, but many just started before everyone else did. That's it. I wasn't smarter than anyone. I wasn't rich. I didn't have powerful friends. I just got tired of struggling. And once I realized the internet rewarded skills more than backgrounds, everything changed. Over time, I built a real business. I moved into a better apartment. I bought my dream car. I traveled for the first time in my life. But the biggest change wasn't financial. It was mental. When you grow up broke, you start believing small is safe. You avoid risks because failure feels dangerous. But success usually comes from uncomfortable decisions. Sending that first message, charging higher prices, taking opportunities before feeling ready. Fear never disappeared from me. I just stopped letting it control my choices. A year after making my first $10,000, I went back to that same coffee shop where everything started. Same tables, same smell of coffee, same quiet atmosphere. I sat there thinking about the exhausted kid who walked in with nothing but stress and desperation. Then something unbelievable happened. A younger guy walked up to me. He looked nervous. "What do you do for work?" he asked. Almost laughed. For a second, it felt like life had repeated itself. So I smiled and answered the same way that stranger answered me months earlier. "I run online businesses." We talked for a while, and before leaving, I wrote one word on a napkin and handed it to him. Opportunity. Because sometimes, all it takes to change your entire future is one conversation, one decision, and one moment where you stop believing your current situation is permanent.